Hi, hello, I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a cranberry raspberry spindrift after my 8-hour shift. So, I don't know why I've had the same conversation in 8 different fonts with like 8 different people about how I am just too hard on myself. Way too hard on myself. And I would love to give you an example, but I would also like to show you something. Let me go grab my thing. I would like to show you this. I finally got my plaque, my YouTube plaque. And this is my silver play button for reaching 100,000 subscribers. And I'm shameful to say that I kept that thing in the box for a good week before I actually, 1, told people that I had it, and 2, opened it up and put it on my desk. And the reason for that is because I have a huge amount of imposter syndrome. Like every time I succeed at something or anytime I get an award or anything, I always believe that I'm not deserving. I believe that anyone could have done it. I don't feel like my accomplishments are worth celebrating because my achievements mean nothing because it was my duty to accomplish them in the first place. It doesn't mean anything. But I don't really like celebrate myself ever. I already know that my imposter syndrome stems from my perfection. Like, I think that I didn't try hard enough to reach my goal, or I think that I could have worked more to get to my goal. I think there's like, I didn't work hard enough, but I still got it. And I know for a fact that all of my imposter syndrome stems from my perfectionism. And so I've had like multiple conversations with people in the past week or so that was just about how I am too fucking hard on myself. And I'm extraordinarily hard on myself. Like, even if I get a perfect score on a test, I'll still think like you didn't study hard enough because it came to you too easy. The first conversation I had was with these 2 gentlemen I was serving at the restaurant. They came in and we were just striking up a conversation, and he told me like, oh, I was like an accomplished engineer. I taught at MIT. I retired, but I traveled all around the world. And he said, yada, 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 enough about me. Tell me a little bit about you. And I said, well, I used to be like a ballerina, and I was supposed to, go to Russia and do all this. And then, a whole bunch of stuff happened. I had to retire due to chronic illness and all this. Just like gave him a little bit of the spiel, not the whole spiel, but just a little bit of the spiel. Just a sp, if you will. He said, oh, what company were you going to be in? The Mariinsky? And I said, no, I auditioned for them, but they said no. And then he looked at me completely and utterly shocked. And he said, do you know how many few people can actually say that sentence in the world? And I said, what do you mean? And he said, very few people can say that they auditioned for the Mariinsky. And for some context, the 3 ballet companies in the world that are considered like the best ballet companies in the world are the Bolshoi, the Mariinsky, and the Paris Opera Ballet. And of course, ballet is a little suggestive because there are very, very other good companies in the world, such as like ABT or Dutch National or Royal Swedish Ballet, still very incredible companies. But if you're looking at like the top of the top that have incredibly refined technique, some of the most technically refined companies out there are going to be the Mariinsky, the Bolshoi, and the Paris Opera Ballet. And of course, again, it's objective, but those are considered the 3 best. I got the chance to audition for the Mariinsky when I was 18, and I was rejected from them, obviously, because I'm not that technically perfect. And I don't see that as an accomplishment. And this gentleman at this table was like going on and on. He's like, that's so amazing. Like, that's incredible. I have so much respect for you. Like, going on and on about how like, you're incredible for getting that far in your career. Like, I commend you. I'm so sorry you had to quit. Like, he's going on and on about this. And he just kept talking about it. And I was like, maybe that is a phenomenal sentence. Maybe I did do phenomenal things in my ballet career. Because I feel like a failure because I had to quit due to chronic illness. I really do. And every single day I carry that like weight in my chest that like, you failed at your career, Bailey. Even though that's not the case at all. And then the second conversation I had was with my friend when we were talking about how I got a 97% and then a 94% on my first 2 quizzes in college. And I was saying, I don't like that. I wanted it to be 100. And I'm still kind of upset that I didn't get 100 on those. I still kind of am. And I know that's stupid to be upset at the fact that you didn't get 100% on your course, but I am. I am. And I have incredibly high standards for myself, and I really thought I would get 100, and I'm really mad that I didn't. He was saying that I was too hard on myself, that 97 and 94 is still like phenomenal grades, and how I'm really, really smart in all this. And I was like, the whole time he's speaking, I'm just like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't care. I don't care that the teacher like said that my essay was good. I don't care that I got 97. I care that it wasn't 100. And I was looking around and I was like, that's such a flaw in my thinking. That's such a giant flaw in my thinking. Why, if it's 97, it's not enough, but if it's 100, it's enough? You know what I mean? And then I was thinking, even if it was 100, I still wouldn't think it's enough. And then the third conversation that I had this week was, it's actually not what you're expecting. I was saying how, like at lunchtime, I come home and I'll just like sit sideways on my bed and scroll on my phone for like an hour, because that's my me time. That's my me time when I don't study, I don't leave my house. I literally just go home and I do that because I'm like, I can't be bothered. I don't want to do anything. I literally just want to go home and do nothing.
Editing Bailey here. So basically what happens is that hour at lunch, I'll go home and I'll do nothing, but then everything that I need to do outside of work piles up. And then I'm literally running around like a headless chicken on the weekend. So it's not good, because I should be getting done the tasks I need to do during the week, and not just saying, oh, I'll do it on the weekend. Let me go and have my sideways in bed scrolling time right now. You know, it's so stupid.
And that's what I do. And it's a wasted hour, of course. And it's not what I should be doing, but it's the only thing that I want to do. So I go home and I do that because that's my 1 hour a day that I actually get to do what I want to do.
Editing Bailey here again. I'm going to explain this a little bit better than Video Bailey. So basically I told my friend this. I was like, oh my God, I have so much to do this weekend. I'm going to be, running around crazy doing a whole bunch of stuff. And he's like, well, why don't you do some of that during the week? And I was like, oh, because I need my sideways in bed scrolling time, right? And he's like, you should seize the day, you should squeeze all the time that you have out of the day, even if you just have an hour, use that hour to go do something that you were going to do on the weekends. So then you have your free time on the weekends. That would be a much better use of your time, like better time management. And I don't know why, but my imposter syndrome and my perfectionism also presents itself as rigidity of thinking, meaning like I can't change my routine. I can't do anything spontaneous. I have to do exactly the same thing every single day. And if I don't, something bad's going to happen, or I'm going to fuck something up, or it has to be pre-planned. And even if it is pre-planned, it has to happen on the weekends, not during the weekdays. It's so weird. It's so weird how my perfectionism will both make me be overly perfectionistic, but also be incredibly rigid in the way that I have to live and do things.
Manage my time a little better so that I can get everything done I need during the week, so that on my days off, I'm not like running around like a headless chicken trying to do everything that I didn't do during the week. But I got mad because I'm like, no, I have to go home and I have to rest because I have to be ready for my shift. And if I don't get ready for my shift, then I'm going to be tired and I'm going to be grumpy, and it's not a good idea. When he said that, and he's like, interrupt your routine, instead of going shopping for work shirts and work pants on the weekends, go shopping for it tomorrow at lunch. You have like a 2-hour break. Go shopping and get what you need during the week instead of having to do it on the weekends. And I'm like, that's actually a really good idea, but I can't interrupt my routine. I have to do things in a certain way. And when he said that, I realized that I'm very rigid with my thinking. I do not allow myself to shift even a little bit. And it's almost as if my imposter syndrome is a rigidity of thinking. It stems from this weird perfectionism that everything has to be the same way. And imposter syndrome stems from this idea that if you're not perfect, you don't deserve it. And if you're not held to your own insane standards, you're not deserving of it. I sat for a moment and I held these 3 conversations of, you've done incredible things in the past and you're allowed to claim them. You're smarter and stronger than you think you are. And you're allowed to break your routine, and you're allowed to go against what your head tells you you have to do. those lessons like finally stuck for some reason after these conversations. And I was like, damn, I think my life would be a lot better if I was a lot less rigid with how I thought about myself and how I thought about the way I live my life. Like, I can't be spontaneous and I can't think kindly of myself, because I think that spontaneity and thinking kindly of myself are going to make me quote unquote soft. They're going to make me not get the grades I do. They're going to make me fail somehow. Like, I feel if I let go of control even a little bit, then the entirety of my life will slip through my fingers. But here's a thought. What if you're able to succeed and not be rigid with yourself? That's my new question I have in the back of my mind. That is there a way that you can hold softness and strength within the same person and still reach for impossible things? And that's what I'm sitting here thinking, because I can't live my life this way. I can't live my life with like not being proud of the things that I do, right? I can't sit here being mean to myself and bullying myself in my head. But I also can't live without my successes. I can't live without reaching for something bigger than me. I can't fail my classes. But I also can't live with this tension anymore. So my new 3 things that I'm going to do is be kinder to myself, acknowledge my accomplishments, and start being more spontaneous with the way that I live my life. Be less rigid with it. And I think it starts with this play button, because I'm really proud of myself for what I've done with this channel. And I'm allowed to say that, and I'm allowed to feel that. And thank you guys for helping me get this here play button. I love you all a lot. I love you all so deeply. Hope you have a good night.